The combat simulation hall of Zerath Prime Academy pulsed with ambient blue light, a cavernous chamber designed to intimidate new cadets. Floating monitors displayed threat analytics in 6 alien languages. Metallic platforms hovered in neat rows as diverse species warmed up for the day's assessment. Most trained loudly, boasting or exchanging techniques. Rhea Morgan stood alone. She adjusted her gloves in quiet focus, ignoring the stares she had grown accustomed to. Humans had joined the academy only 5 cycles ago, and the reaction from non-human cadets had ranged from cautious curiosity to outright fear. Rhea had felt all of it. Today was no different. Whispers followed her like shadows. Deathworlder. Primitive mammal. Why did they bring one here? She let the noise wash over her. Surviving Earth had taught her patience, reacting rarely helped. Her heartbeat remained steady, her posture relaxed, her gaze fixed on her platform. A sharp, amused voice sliced through the hall. Well. The little Earth creature crawled out of its nest again. Kelverian approached with the swagger of someone used to attention. His scales carried a polished sheen, a sign of noble Zerathian lineage. 2 cadets trailed behind him, ready to laugh at whatever insult he delivered. Rhea continued warming up. She knew Kelver wanted a reaction. He stepped closer. I heard your planet's gravity tries to crush its own inhabitants. Fascinating. And yet, you walk around like you're one of us. Rhea tied her hair, unbothered. You should focus on the drill. Oh, I am focused. His voice rose. Focused on understanding how a species from a death trap of a world thinks it belongs here. His entourage chuckled. Rhea finally looked at him. Calm. Controlled. If you're trying to provoke me, pick something new. You've used that line 3 times this week. A few nearby cadets smirked. Kelver's scales darkened with irritation. He stepped closer, close enough she could smell the xenon oil his species used as a scent marker. Your kind only survives by accident. Falling out of trees, running from predators. It's pathetic that they call you an apex species. Rhea said nothing. The silence only fueled him. What happened to that human who froze to death in the polar trials? Wasn't she your mother? The surrounding conversations died instantly. Even the monitors seemed to hum softer. Kelver smiled, pleased with himself. Rhea's voice, when it came, was level. Don't speak about her again. The warning was soft, but the room reacted as if a blade had been drawn. Kelver blinked, surprised at the shift in atmosphere, then forced a laugh. Or what? You'll glare me to death? Rhea looked back at her platform. Kelver, last warning. Before he could continue, the instructor's voice boomed. Cadets, to your marks. 10-second countdown before the simulation initiates. Holographic battlefields rose around each group. Platforms aligned in precise formation. A transparent shield formed overhead. Rhea stepped onto her designated mark. Kelver positioned himself opposite her, eyes glittering with smug confidence. The countdown began. 10. The lights dimmed and the simulation grid activated. 9. Kelver cracked his knuckles loudly, staring at her as if daring her to flinch. 8. Rhea inhaled slowly. The floor beneath her vibrated, normal for a sim warm-up. 7. Kelver leaned forward. When they eject you, remember this moment. 6. The holographic terrain formed, towers, barricades, shifting metal. 5. Energy surged across the arena. Something felt off. The air thickened. 4. A faint hum echoed beneath Rhea's feet. 3. Kelver took an aggressive stance, preparing to lunge early, illegal, but typical for someone certain of immunity. 2. The platform under Rhea brightened, light seeping through invisible seams. 1. A set of glowing symbols spiraled outward beneath her boots, ancient, unfamiliar, pulsing like a heartbeat. Kelver noticed. What? 0. The entire arena shuddered. Holograms flickered. A sharp crack of displaced air tore through the hall as the temperature dropped by several degrees. Rhea didn't move. Kelver lunged early, as expected, one desperate attempt to knock her off balance before the referee systems activated. He never reached her. Instead, a surge of white-gold light erupted from the runic circle beneath her, expanding violently outward. Cadets staggered back as their displays overloaded. The force lifted Kelver mid-stride and suspended him in the air like a puppet caught in an unseen current. His eyes widened. "Rhea, what are you?" She took a single step back, startled. "I'm not doing anything." The light intensified. A sound like a distant pulse echoed through the chamber, ancient, rhythmic, resonant. Kelver twisted in panic, claws flailing. "Make it stop. Make it STO." His voice cut off. The light snapped inward, collapsing into a sphere around him. Then, Kelver vanished. No body. No scorch marks. No residual heat. Just empty air where he had been a second earlier. The arena went silent. Rhea stood alone in the center of the glowing runic circle, breathing steadily, hands raised slightly in disbelief. A dozen cadets gasped. Someone shouted, "She vaporized him." Another cried, "Deathworld trick." The instructor slammed a fist on the control panel, triggering emergency lockdown. Sirens blared. Red lights swept across the hall. A containment shield dropped around Rhea, sealing her in. A voice crackled through speakers, strained with panic. "Cadet Morgan, step away from the center." "I didn't do anything," Rhea said, more to herself than anyone else. Security officers poured into the simulation chamber. Their armor shimmered with active kinetic fields, indicating they believed the threat unresolved. "Do not move," one shouted. Rhea obeyed. Her mind raced, searching for answers. She replayed the light, the symbols, Kelver's scream. Nothing connected. She had trained in dozens of simulations, none resembled this. Two officers approached cautiously. "Cadet Rhea Morgan," the senior one said, "you are to be detained for investigation into the disappearance of Cadet Kelver." Rhea swallowed, forcing calm. "He jumped at me." Then the floor lit up. "We will determine the cause," he replied, though his tone held doubt. "For now, you will come with us." As they escorted her toward the exit, cadets parted in silence. Some stared in fear, others watched with horrified fascination. None stepped forward to defend her. The doors sealed behind them with a heavy metal thud. Rhea took one final look at the arena, at the faintly glowing symbols still pulsing on the floor. Whatever had happened, it had chosen her as the center of it. And she had no idea why. The interrogation chamber sat deep beneath Zerath Prime Academy, carved into the orbital station's metallic spine. Everything inside was cold, the walls, the lighting, the silence. Rhea Morgan sat in the center of a circular table surrounded by three senior officers. Their expressions gave nothing away. A single observation screen occupied the far wall. Someone watched from behind it. She could feel the presence, faint but deliberate. Commander Trin folded his arms. His insectoid carapace reflected the white light. "State exactly what happened during the simulation." Rhea kept her voice calm. "Kelver insulted me, stepped forward before the countdown ended, and the floor beneath me activated. I didn't trigger anything." The officer to his right, an avian scholar with a narrow beak, clicked her talons against the table. The runic pattern registered anomalous energy levels. "We've never recorded such a reaction from that chamber." Rhea met her gaze. "I know. It surprised me too." Trin leaned closer. "Cadet Urine is gone. Not dead, gone. The Academy cannot afford ambiguity. Explain why an ancient pattern reacted to you." "I don't know," Rhea said. "I've never seen those symbols." The third officer, or reptilian elder, tapped a data slab. "You are from a death world. Your physiology may have triggered a dormant system." Rhea let out a slow breath. "My physiology doesn't make symbols appear." Then what does? Trin pressed. I wish I knew. Silence settled like dust. None of them wanted this incident. A missing Xanathian noble created political heat. A human involved amplified it. The avian officer adjusted her cloak. You will remain under observation until we determine the cause. You may return to your quarters under escort. Do not leave the cadet sector. Rhea nodded. She had expected worse. As she rose to leave, Trin stopped her. One more thing, Morgan. She paused. If you discover anything, and I mean anything, related to the symbols, report immediately. Do not investigate on your own. Rhea didn't respond. She simply walked out. She had no intention of following that order. The watching eyes. 2 guards escorted her through the dim corridor. The academy had grown unnervingly quiet, news traveled fast, and every cadet likely heard about Kelver's disappearance. Rhea felt their stares even behind closed doors. When she entered her quarters, the guards sealed the door. She exhaled, finally alone. Her room was a compact space, bed, desk, training mat, and a small viewport showing the starfield beyond. Nothing unusual. Until she noticed the faint glow. A line of symbols drifted across the floor, identical to those in the arena. They moved like living ink, sliding along the metal plating in a slow spiral. Rhea stepped closer. The patterns shimmered in recognition. No, she whispered. Not again. The symbols expanded, forming a gentle path leading toward the hallway wall. Then they stopped, waiting. Rhea reached out with her foot. The runes parted, forming a clear direction. Her pulse quickened. Kelver might still be alive. If the academy thought she was responsible, proving the truth mattered. She grabbed her jacket and followed. The forbidden descent. The hallway outside was empty. The runes brightened under her steps, guiding her like a silent escort. They led her past standard training areas, then deeper, towards sections of the station she had never entered. A warning sign in 3 galactic languages appeared on a bulkhead door. Archive level, authorized personnel only. The door opened at her approach without a code. That alone confirmed this wasn't an academy system. Something older was responding. She stepped inside. The hallway beyond was different, angular architecture, dim gold lighting, walls lined with panels etched with the same symbols. It felt untouched for centuries. Rhea scanned the corridor. Where are you taking me? The runes slid forward. As she descended a ramp, a shifting hum vibrated through her bones. The deeper she went, the less the place resembled the academy. Instead, it resembled a forgotten structure built into the station long before modern species occupied it. A massive door rose at the end of the hall, covered in ancient markings. It recognized her immediately, its surface rippled like liquid metal and pulled apart to reveal a vast chamber inside. The air smelled old, dust, metal, long-sealed machinery. A holographic figure materialized in the room's center. Tall. Humanoid. Featureless, except for a faint swirling core in its chest. Its voice echoed like layered whispers. Designation, human. You carry the imprint. Step forward. Rhea froze. Who are you? I am the Vault Guardian of the Ilahr. Sentinel of the Trial Realm. The realm? Rhea repeated. One foreign life form has entered the trial by disruption. His status, alive, distressed, awaiting retrieval. Kelver. Rhea swallowed. He was pulled here? Into your system? The activation recognized conflict. The Ilahr protocols engage when an apex sentient is threatened. Apex sentient, Rhea whispered. You mean humans? Correct. She tried processing. The Ilahr were myth, extinct builders known only through fragments found on distant moons. Their technology was thought impossible to operate. Yet here she stood, recognized as if she belonged. Why me? She said quietly. Your species carries survival ancestry compatible with Ilahr constructs. You are a trigger. A key. The runes around her brightened. Rhea steadied herself. If Kelver is trapped, show me where. The Guardian gestured. A hologram unfolded, revealing a labyrinth of shifting rooms, corridors, and traps. Kelver's marker pulsed faintly in a distorted corner. He was still moving. Barely. Rhea clenched her jaw. How do I reach him? A platform rose from the floor, forming a circular archway with swirling light inside. Enter the trial. Navigate the maze. Balance the judgment. And if I don't? He will fail. The maze will conclude. His outcome will be permanent. She stared at the archway. Kelver had tormented her for weeks. He insulted her mother. He attacked her. Yet leaving him to die wasn't an option. I'll go, she said. Before stepping forward, she added, when I entered the arena earlier, did I activate the system consciously? No. The battlefield recognized threat proximity. Instinct is enough. Instinct, she murmured. Deathworld lifeforms respond strongly under stress. The system reads that response. That explanation chilled her more than she expected. The Guardian's voice deepened. Time moves differently inside. Do not hesitate once you enter. Rhea nodded. She faced the glowing archway. Her heartbeat steadied, not from fear, but from clarity. Kelver's disappearance wasn't her fault. But his rescue would be her responsibility. She stepped toward the portal. The light expanded around her, warm and sharp, pulling her across the boundary. Her last thought before the chamber vanished. The Academy has no idea what lies beneath their feet. The moment Rhea crossed the threshold, the world snapped into motion. Light dissolved around her, replaced by a sprawling metal corridor that shifted as if breathing. The floor panels rearranged themselves under her boots, forming new angles with each step. The ceiling pulsed with amber lines, like veins carrying energy. She wasn't in a simulation. She was inside something alive. A metallic groan echoed ahead. Rhea moved cautiously, listening for anything out of place. Kelver's marker on the hologram had been faint, but present. He couldn't be far. A shadow flickered at the edge of the corridor. Rhea followed. The first challenge emerged without warning. Panels retracted, revealing a drop into darkness. A narrow, unstable walkway extended across the gap. Rhea tested the first section. It shifted, but held her weight. A distant voice reached her ears. Strained. Weak. Help. Someone, anyone. Kelver. Rhea crossed the walkway quickly but steadily. Halfway through, a burst of pressurized air shot upward. The pathway trembled. She dropped low, gripping the edge until the gust passed. The maze wasn't random, it responded to her movement. She continued. At the end of the walkway, she found Kelver slumped against a wall, clutching his arm. His scales were dull, scraped, stripped of their usual polish. Sweat soaked the edges of his crest. When he looked up and saw her, the disbelief on his face overpowered everything else. You came, he whispered. Rhea knelt to check his arm. If I didn't, you wouldn't get out. He flinched at her touch, then forced himself still. I didn't think your kind had mercy. That's your problem, she said. You don't think beyond yourself. He lowered his gaze. The arrogance he once wore like armor had cracked. I said terrible things, he murmured. I provoked you because I wanted to feel superior. You humans, your world. I was taught it made you dangerous. Rhea examined his injury. A fracture, not fatal. Dangerous doesn't mean hostile. You attacked first. I know. His voice wavered. I deserved whatever happened to me. No one deserves to be trapped in a maze built by an extinct civilization, she replied. Kelver stared at her. Why risk yourself for me? Because leaving you would make me what you claimed humans are, Rhea said. And I'm not. Before he could respond, the corridor lights flared. The maze reacted to their reunion. The walls shifted with grinding resonance, creating a new route behind them. A wide chamber opened, its center occupied by a raised platform covered in the familiar runes. Rhea helped Kelver stand. "We're close to the exit. Stay behind me." He nodded silently. They stepped into the chamber. The floor sealed behind them. A deep pulse shivered through the air as the runes ignited. A disembodied voice filled the room, the Guardian's voice, but colder, stripped of hospitality. Final assessment initiated. Rhea's jaw tightened. Assessment? A panel slid open above the platform, revealing a rotating column of machinery. Metal tendrils extended downward, weaving into an intricate pattern. The ground trembled. Balance the judgment. One ascends. One falls. Kelver stumbled backward. What does that mean? Rhea's mind raced. The Ilahr trials were known for moral testing. Ancient builders didn't rely on brute force, they prioritized values. Sacrifice. Solidarity. Protection. The platform split into two halves. One glowed gold. The other dimmed to black. The maze recognizes confrontation, the voice continued. Resolution requires choice. Kelver stared at the dark half. It wants one of us to lose. Rhea understood immediately. It wants a demonstration of value. Value? Kelver echoed. A test, she said. To prove that strength isn't selfish. Kelver's breathing quickened. If one platform falls, it drops into the lower chamber, Rhea confirmed. And that chamber didn't show any life signs earlier. Kelver trembled. Rhea. She stepped onto the dark platform before he could finish. Kelver's eyes widened. No. You can't. You didn't cause this. Rhea held his gaze. And you won't survive another trial. I can. That's not the point, he shouted. You're choosing to die for someone who mocked you. She shook her head. I'm choosing not to let someone die because of pride. The chamber shook more violently. The golden platform began rising. The dark one lowered by an inch. Kelver lunged toward her. Switch with me. Rhea extended her arm, stopping him with surprising firmness. Stay where you are. The maze is watching. Kelver's voice broke. Why? Why show me compassion after everything? Because I'm not here to make you afraid, she said softly. I'm here to prove you wrong. The dark platform dropped another inch. Kelver's fists clenched. The shame in his eyes cut deeper than any insult he'd ever thrown. He stepped back onto the gold platform. Rhea, his voice dropped to a whisper. Thank you. The chamber pulsed. The runes dimmed. The descent stopped. The Guardian's voice returned, this time steady. Judgment met. Apex sentient demonstrates protective instinct. Trial complete. The platform under Rhea rose slowly until both halves aligned again. Kelver exhaled shakily and nearly collapsed. Rhea caught his arm, steadying him. A doorway opened behind them, revealing the exit corridor. Let's go, she said quietly. Kelver nodded. The return. Light swallowed them as they stepped through the portal. The ancient chamber dissolved into the Academy's lower hall, clean metal, bright panels, shocked cadets. Security officers rushed forward but stopped when they saw Kelver alive, leaning heavily on Rhea for support. The hall fell silent. Kelver straightened himself. His voice trembled, but he spoke loudly enough for all nearby to hear. I insulted her. I attacked her. She still saved me. She risked herself in the Ilahr trial. I owe her my life. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Commander Trin approached, his antennae raised. Cadet Yearn, confirm, the human did not harm you? Kelver shook his head. No. Everything that happened was because the system reacted to her presence. She didn't choose it. She controlled it. Trin's gaze shifted to Rhea. You entered the vault alone? Yes, she said. And you completed the maze? She nodded. Before he could respond, the floor beneath her glowed faintly. A small sphere of golden light rose from the metal and hovered before her chest. It pulsed once, then dissolved into her skin. A message whispered through her mind. The Deathworld child has awakened. More trials await. Rhea blinked. The glow faded. Kelver stared at her, all replacing fear. Rhea, what does that mean? She looked toward the Academy's upper levels, the place that had always felt too small, too limited. It means this was just the beginning. The Academy trembled that night. Not from structural failure, or combat drills, or external threats, but from rumors. Whispers curled through every corridor, every training bay, every communal hall. Cadets spoke Rhea's name either in fear, awe, or disbelief. Some claimed she controlled ancient tech. Others claimed she triggered a weapon. A few insisted she was the weapon. Rhea ignored all of it. She sat alone in the observation deck, watching Zerath Prime's moon cast a thin ring of light across the viewport. Her hands rested on her knees, steady but restless. The memory of the Guardian's final message played through her mind like a quiet echo. More trials await. She hadn't told the officers. Not yet. She didn't know how. The door behind her slid open. Soft footsteps followed. Kelver approached slowly, wearing a support brace around his injured arm. He looked smaller than usual, less polished, less composed, but far more honest. Mind if I sit? He asked. Rhea gestured to the seat beside her. You don't need permission. He lowered himself carefully. Everyone's talking about you. I noticed. Kelver hesitated. Are you all right? I'm adjusting, she said. The vault wasn't just technology. It felt like something watching me. Waiting. Kelver nodded. The Ilahr must have designed their systems with some kind of sentient core. You triggered it. That's what worries me. Kelver swallowed. I owe you something more than gratitude. An explanation. Rhea turned toward him. About what? Why I reacted the way I did, he said. Why I wanted you to fail. She waited. My family sits on the Zerathian high bench, he said. We were told humans were unpredictable. Dangerous. A species shaped by chaos. When you arrived at the Academy, my father said your admission threatened the balance. That if humans proved themselves superior here, the Academy's structure would shift. Rhea raised a brow. So you tried to insult an entire species away from success? Kelver winced. It sounds ridiculous now. I thought if I provoked you, you'd react violently. Prove him right. Then humans would be banned. He paused. I didn't expect you to stay calm. Rhea looked back out the viewport. Calm is how I survive. Kelver exhaled. I was wrong. About everything. Before she could respond, the lights overhead dimmed. A deep hum reverberated through the deck. Kelver stiffened. That's not a standard alert. Rhea rose to her feet. No. It's coming from below. A new sound layered beneath the hum, soft chimes, like metal striking crystal. The deck's floor lit up with faint geometric shapes. Kelver stepped back. The Ilahr symbols. Rhea knelt, tracing a finger near one of the light strands. It pulsed at her proximity. It's calling me again, she said quietly. Kelver's eyes widened. Already? You barely got out of the first maze. I don't think the vault expected me to stop, she replied. It started something. A voice crackled through the intercom. Commander Trin. All cadets remain in quarters. Repeat, remain in quarters. A subsystem anomaly is activating in the archive levels. Rhea stood. He thinks this is a malfunction. It isn't, Kelver said. It's tied to you. Rhea didn't deny it. Before either could speak again, a sharp pulse shot through the deck. The runes converged into a beam, forming a floating sphere of gold light. Kelver took a step back. Another message? Rhea held her ground. The sphere unfolded into a thin, vertical slit, like an eye opening. A voice whispered from inside it, layered and ancient. Keyholder, prepare. Rhea swallowed. For what? A second vault awakens beyond this world. Others seek it. You must claim it first. Kelver blinked. Others? Who? The voice continued. Not all species welcome the return of the Ilahr systems. Some fear the keys. Some desire them. Rhea clenched her fists. Why me? Why humans? Survival heritage. Adaptive evolution. You carry what they left behind. Kelver spoke softly. Where is this second vault? The sphere flickered, forming a star map. One sector blinked. The coordinates were unmistakable. Earth. Rhea's heartbeat thudded once, sharp and heavy. Kelver felt the shift in her expression. You're home? Yes. Commander Trin's voice boomed through the deck again, this time tense. All officers respond. An unauthorized energy pattern is emerging from the observation deck. Secure immediately. Rhea turned to Kelver. We need to move. If they shut the deck, they'll trap us with this thing. Kelver hesitated. There's something else you should know. The High Bench knows about the Ilahr myths. If Earth has a vault, my people won't let it remain unclaimed. That's not their choice, Rhea said. Or yours. He nodded once. Then I'll help you. Rhea blinked, surprised. You're changing sides fast. Kelver met her gaze. You saved me. That made the path clear. Before she could respond, security boots thundered down the nearby hallway. Rhea grabbed the glowing sphere. It didn't burn, didn't resist. Instead, it compressed into a compact shard, slipping into her palm like it belonged there. Kelver stared. You can carry it. Apparently. The doors slid open. Commander Trin and 3 officers entered, weapons drawn but aimed low. Cadet Morgan, Trin said, step away from the light. Rhea held her ground. This isn't an attack. It's communication. That may be, Trin replied, but until we understand it, no one touches unknown artifacts. Kelver stepped between them. Sir, she didn't summon it. The system reacted on its own. Trin studied Rhea. His eyes narrowed. What did it tell you? That another vault has activated, she said evenly. On Earth. Murmurs rippled among the officers. Trin exhaled slowly. We need this contained. The Concord must evaluate before. We don't have time, Rhea interrupted. If hostile factions get there first, they could weaponize it. Kelver nodded. She's right. The Ilahr systems aren't passive. They choose users. Trin hesitated. The commander in him wanted control. The strategist recognized urgency. You intend to travel to Earth, he said. I have to, Rhea replied. The Ilahr systems will keep activating. If I don't respond, someone else will, and not for the right reasons. The deck lights brightened, signaling the end of the anomaly. The symbols faded, but the knowledge remained sharp in Rhea's mind. Trin lowered his weapon. I can't officially sanction this. But I can delay any interference long enough for you to depart. Rhea nodded once. Thank you. Kelver stepped beside her. I'm going with her. Trin studied him. Your family won't approve. Kelver lifted his chin. They never approved of anything I did anyway. Trin almost smiled. Then I won't stop you. Rhea closed her hand around the Ilahr shard. It warmed gently, responding to her resolve. Earth waited. Another vault waited. And something out there, some faction, had already begun searching. She headed toward the docking bay with Kelver at her side. The next trial had begun.